On this edition of NESCom Connection, we bring you the latest on the Freddie Gray death in Baltimore. A cop helped deliver a baby, and reporter Alex Nivus will tell us about this year's Husson University commencement speaker, a man comfortable both out at sea and out in space. It's Friday, April 24th, and NESCom Connection starts right now.
From the campus of Husson University, this is your NESCom Connection.
Hello, everyone. I'm Leah LaBree. Members of the Baltimore community are demanding answers after the unexplained death of one of their own. They want to know why Freddie Gray died after he suffered injuries while in police custody. Paulo Sandoval has more.
Frustration and grief intensify on the streets of Baltimore, Maryland. Protesters joined the family of Freddie Gray in a march for answers Tuesday. An autopsy shows a 25-year-old man died from a severe spinal injury 7 days after he was arrested on weapons charges by Baltimore police.
Hey, that boy leg looks gross.
Details of the arrest are sparking accusations of police brutality against the 6 officers involved. They're suspended and off the beat for now. Baltimore PD maintained Gray was taken in, quote, without force or incident. The officers are seen arresting Gray. Handcuffs on, he's taken into a waiting police van.
He did not look like he had any physical injuries. What we also know is that very shortly thereafter, when he was removed from the van, he was unresponsive.
Local investigators handling the case are yet to say what happened in that police van and how Gray may have suffered his deadly injuries. State law prevents investigators from talking to officers involved for 10 days following an incident. That period expired Wednesday. The lack of details a week and a half after the incident is fueling cries from the public and the lawmakers who represent them.
We've got to restore trust in this city between the police and the community, and we've got to do even more than that. We've got to have total transparency.
The Department of Justice is the latest agency to join the host of investigations already taking place. They'll work to determine if Gray's civil rights were violated. Reporting in Washington, I'm Paulo Sandoval.
After an internal investigation of the chief of Maine State Police says that his agency failed to respond the way it should have after receiving a 911 call about a possible intruder inside of a daycare center in Dayton, Maine. Workers at the Little Hands Big Hearts daycare say it took more than 2 hours for a trooper to show up after a call was placed last Friday. Teacher Jessica Antoine says she heard noises coming from the second floor, which was supposed to be empty. She went upstairs to find open cupboards and saw a person run out the door. 6 children were in the building at the time. No one was hurt in the incident. But volunteers are scrambling to save about 3,000 vinyl records that were soaked when a water pipe burst in the studios of a Portland community radio station. The Portland Press-Herald reports a half-dozen volunteers sorted the records of Howlin' Wolf and other classic blues artists at WMPG-FM Thursday afternoon, removing them from their wet paper sleeves and cardboard jackets. A half-inch pipe running above the station's basement ceiling burst overnight Wednesday, dousing the wooden bins of records below. Station manager Jim Rand says the damage was discovered Thursday morning when the building lacked water pressure. The leak was fixed right away, but work to restore the record collection continued all afternoon. Rand says the station has many valuable records that are irreplaceable. If someone is trapped because of a fire, firefighters are trained to search and find them. But to do that takes a lot of practice. Michael Campbell was in Levant and takes a look at how one station does just that.
At the Levant fire station, the trucks were pulled out into the parking lot one by one. Helmets, coats, boots were put on, and equipment was checked. It was time.
See where your secondary
practice.
exit was? You found it.
Yeah.
And that's where I shut the door to see what your thinking was. So you found this perfect.
Good. You want to put a mask on too, or just?
Several firefighters from the community spent the night going over the training it takes to do search and rescue. Fire Chief Eric Strout says it's all part of the plan.
The biggest thing is actually to train with the equipment that we're wearing. We try to simulate a search and rescue as best we can. So we want to get a scenario so that we get the gear, we practice wearing the air pack, and then we want to simulate flowing air, and then we have down firefighters and then rescue missions. It's not as close as it's going to be to a real fire, but with the gear on, we get the simulation of how much the gear weighs, and then, of course, getting in and breathing the air, it takes us through that whole process.
They were put into teams, and they were put to the test. Their mission? Retrieval of victims in a mock emergency situation. Chief Strout says that the practice is so important.
Hey, you okay? Okay.
Practice makes perfect. As we work as a team, we work on communication, we work on breathing techniques, so if you're in a high-stress situation, we can slow down our breathing and conserve air. If you only have a certain amount of time on an air pack, if you can conserve that breathing in a high-stress or high-crisis situation, that's going to mean the difference between life or death.
The teams also practice moving the bodies of the victims in the dark. Firefighters crawled through the station in the dark, going up the different floors. Michael Campbell, NESCom Connection.
If you'd like to learn more about the Levant Fire Department, visit their Facebook page, Levant Fire and Rescue. When we come back, reporter Alex Nivus will tell us about a special guest speaker at Husson University's commencement ceremony next month, astronaut Chris Cassidy.
Want your education to look like this? Or this? The New England School of Communications. Your passion, our experience, your future. Visit us online at nescom.edu.
Get caught buzz driving, and you could do some hard time.
Craig, knock it off.
Sorry, Mom.
It could cost you around $10,000 in fines, legal fees, and increased insurance rates. And that could set you back a few years. Buzzed, busted, and broke. Because buzz driving is drunk driving.
Give it back!
They'll test you. Try to break your will. But however loud the loudness gets, however many cheese puffs may fly, you're the driver, the one in control. Stand firm. Just wait. And move only when you hear the click that says they're buckled in for the drive. Never give up till they buckle up.
Get your You're not in here. Yes, I am. Move! Give it to him hard!
No.
Every day, kids witness bullying.
Why stab me with it? No.
They want to help, but don't know how. Teach your kids how to be more than a bystander. Visit stopbullying.gov.
Husson University's commencement speaker next month is a former resident with a unique resume. He's a former Mainer, a former Navy SEAL, and he's an astronaut. NESCom reporter Alex Nivus joins us from the newsroom with more on that story.
That's right, Leah. Not only is Commander Chris Cassidy a current NASA astronaut, but he's a former Navy SEAL and a graduate of York High School right here in Maine. His childhood was typical. He moved around a bit before his family settled in York in 1980. He played basketball growing up and was a graduate of the Naval Academy with a bachelor's in mathematics in 1993. Commander Cassidy was a member of the SEALs for 10 years and earned a master's in ocean engineering before joining NASA in 2004. I spoke with Commander Cassidy via Skype. My first question, what impressed him about the Husson campus in his first visit here back in November of 2013?
Well, one, Husson has gotten a whole lot bigger than when I was a kid. I remember I think I had a basketball clinic there or something. I don't remember exactly why, but I went to Husson for some reason in high school, and it was just it struck me as a small little community college type place. It wasn't a community college, but you know what I mean? Just no dormitories, just students come for the day and leave. And then when I went back last year or whenever it was, I could not believe how big it was, how many programs they have, how many students come there. It was just really impressive to see that growth. Really, I was amazed.
So, being that you are an astronaut and a former Navy SEAL, you probably have a lot of opportunities to speak to a lot of different places, universities and otherwise. So, I'm just curious what it is about Husson that makes us so lucky to have you in a couple weeks to come speak to our graduating class.
You asked.
That was the basic thing we asked, and you were willing.
Yeah, it's pretty much that simple. The president, Bob Clark, if I got it, Bob Clark, right? Yeah, he and I had really nice conversations last year, and we enjoyed talking to each other, and I think that's why he reached back this year and said, hey, would you be interested in being our commencement speaker? And I said, sure, absolutely, no problem. And oh, by the way, it's going to be on Mother's Day, and what better reason to be in my home state than on Mother's Day?
You can watch my interview with Commander Cassidy in its entirety on the NESCom journalism page on YouTube.
Did Commander Cassidy say that he was going to talk about at graduation in a couple weeks?
Well, Leah, I asked Commander Cassidy if he could give me a sneak peek, and he says he's just going to keep it simple. He's just going to talk about his life experiences, his ups, his downs, and things that he learned to try to help prepare Husson graduates for what might be coming in the real world. Leah, back to you.
Thank you, Alex, for that report. Gun control groups are urging Maine residents to help defeat a bill that would allow people to carry concealed handguns without a permit. The groups have released ads claiming that the proposal would put Maine people at risk, allowing people with no training, even violent criminals, to carry concealed weapons in public. A spokeswoman for the National Rifle Association said in email that the groups are spreading lies. She says that violent criminals are currently banned from possessing firearms, and that wouldn't change under this bill. A committee plans to hold a work session in the bill today. Sales. Fast food giant plans to hold at least 900 restaurants worldwide this year. The Golden Arches are reported a $400 million profit loss for the first 3 months of the year. McDonald's has struggled for some time with dwindling sales and customers, but the company is fighting back, announcing a pay hike for restaurant workers and experimenting with an all-day breakfast menu. A police officer in Maryland helped deliver a baby in a car early Thursday morning. Officer Dan Campbell says after he pulled over a speeding car, the driver told him his wife was in labor. Campbell offered to escort the couple to the hospital, but before they could get there, the baby started to come. Campbell says he put on his latex gloves, grabbed his first aid bag, and went to help the mom. A short time later, a boy was born.
They do train us to deliver babies in the academy. It's one of those, this could happen, and we hear the stories, and I was like, wow, this is really happening right now.
Police said both the mom and baby are doing well. The newborn weighed in at 7 pounds and 8 ounces. He is the couple's third child. Josh Mades-Alabiso joins us. What's going on in sports, Josh?
Well, Leah, I'll have all your Husson sports news and your Red Sox and Celtics news as well. And Alyssa Thurlow will join us live with a report on the women's lacrosse team. Stay tuned.
Want your education to look like this? Or this? The New England School of Communications. Your passion, our experience. your future. Visit us online at nescom.edu.
Everybody has a dream. Mine was to see the ocean. And with a little help, I made it.
Yes, I am.
Give it to him hard.
No.
Every day, kids witness bullying.
Why are you stabbing me with it? No.
They want to help,
Ow.
but don't know how.
Oh,
Teach your kids how to be more than a bystander. Visit stopbullying.gov.
My heart doesn't see race. Love is love.
Welcome back. I'm Josh Mades-Alabiso with sports. Husson Baseball is gearing up for the postseason as they will play for the right to host the NAC tournament this weekend when they go down and visit New England College. If they want to host the tournament, they'll have to sweep this weekend and get a little help from Castleton if they want to host. As you can see here, the game Tuesday versus Bates. Husson won by the final 6-3. Zach Cochise got the win. He is 1-1 on the year. Corey Mongret was in for the save and his third save on the year. The Eagles go to 22-13 overall on the season. The softball team earned a split with Bates on Wednesday. The Lady Eagles will play again here on Saturday versus Linden State. As we can see here from their game on Tuesday, Game 1 of the doubleheader, Husson won 1-0. Kayla Merrill got the win. She is 9-4 now on the year. That's really impressive. Game 2, Bates unfortunately won 4-0, and softball goes to 18-10 overall on the year. The men's lacrosse team got a big win Monday versus Wheelock. As we can go to the graphic here, you can see they've played on Monday as well. Husson won 23-6, their 8th win of the season, 8-6 overall. Brandon Corbo led the team with 5 of his own goals, and Husson will play Linden State Sunday in the first round of the NAC tournament at 5 p.m. The men's lacrosse team are not the only ones finding success heading into the postseason. The women's lacrosse team is going to the playoffs as well. NESCom sports reporter Alyssa Thurlow joins us live from the newsroom with more on that story.
The Lady Eagles are entering the quarterfinals in the 4th seed of the North Atlantic Conference as they take on 5th-seeded UMaine Farmington this weekend. Husson faced the Beavers last month in an NAC matchup and defeated them 19-7. Head coach Madeline Hopner is confident in her team and says that they will be ready for this weekend mentally and physically.
I think we've gotten more mentally tough. Our fitness, I think, has actually improved as well. We're just a much more well-rounded team than Farmington, and I think that's will be the reason why we top them.
The Lady Eagles look to continue their win streak on Sunday as they host their first playoff game since 2011. Game time is set for 3 p.m. If they win on Sunday, they will play one-seeded Castleton on Wednesday. Josh?
Alyssa, what did Coach Hopner have to say about senior Abby Staub?
Well, Coach Hopner is confident that Abby will have the game of her life on Sunday as she has started out a little bit slow in the last few games. She's played extremely well for the Eagles this season, being the leading scorer with 27 goals. There are 6 seniors on the team this year, including Staub, so she's hoping that win or lose, they will just leave it out on the field on Sunday. Josh, back to you.
Thanks, Alyssa, for that report. We'll go back to baseball now as the Red Sox were in action last night as they took on the Tampa Bay Rays down at Tropicana Field. You see Clay Buchholz here on the mound early in the game, gets a nice little pitch. Gonna get through. Pablo Sandoval says nuh-uh, and he makes a strong throw over to Mike Napoli, who gets the out. Big strong throw over there from the Red Sox new third baseman. Sandoval comes up right away. Nice strong throw. Clay Buchholz will be happy about that. Mookie Betts here trying to single. Kevin Kermier says No way, I'm going to steal that one from you. He makes a great diving catch. That'll be on SportsCenter, I guarantee you that. And then the Rays will just, here we go. Anthony Varvaro trying to get in, trying to preserve the lead for the Red Sox, unable to do that. And the Rays will go a walk-off win on 2-1. The Celtics were in action last night as they would try to avoid going down 3-0 to the Cleveland Cavaliers as the series shifted to the TD Garden. We'll pick things up here, starting with the man LeBron James. As he makes the first big play, he'll come in and get the nice big slam and get his team fired up. Celtics fans won't be too fired up about that, unfortunately. Kyrie Irving here with a nice drive. He'll go in and go all the way in, and he will get the nice tough layup to go. Kyrie Irving with a nice job. Celtics would make a little noise here, though. Evan Turner with a nice three. He'll hit it and gets the crowd back into it, cutting the Cavaliers to the lead down to 3. Cavaliers up by 6 here late in the fourth. Evan Turner tries to go in for the drive. LeBron says, "Get out. You're not getting that up in here." And he's talking to Turner as the crowd gets back into it. And LeBron here, we're going to be saying this a lot. LeBron to Love in the postseason. Love hits the 3, and the Cavaliers would go on to win. And Game 4 of this series will be Sunday at 1 p.m. When we come back, Jordan Cust will have your local weather forecast. Stay tuned.
Everybody has a dream. Mine was to see the ocean. And with a little help, I made it.
Want your education to look like this? Or this? The New England School of Communications. Your passion, our experience, your future. Visit us online at NESCom.edu.
Yes, I am.
Give it to him hard.
No, now.
Every day, kids witness bullying.
Why you stabbing me with it? No.
They want to help,
Ow.
but don't know how. Teach your kids how to be more than a bystander. Visit stopbullying.gov.
We now go to weather with Jordan Cust. Jordan, will this rain ever go away?
Maybe not in the near future, but eventually we'll have some sun. If we take a look at our tower cam, you can see it's still a little damp outside, a bit dreary. Maybe bring an umbrella with you just in case. Currently, the temperatures, excuse me, are a little low. About 40, Holton 38, Eastport 39, Bangor again 39, Augusta's starting to warm up, getting up to 42, excuse me. Portland, be jealous, up to 49. So they're doing a bit better. And if we take a look at our national map, we can see a big thing, a low pressure moving in across the country, and then we have some up Maine coming down again. So basically for us, that means a lot of rain. A lot of the weather we've been seeing recently, not gonna get too much sun. However, coming up tonight, mostly cloudy, low temp of 35. Tomorrow, though, in the morning, we might see a little rain, but in the afternoon, it'll warm up, be about 54 and partly sunny. So you have that to look forward to. Now, Friday, today, again, rainy, might see some sun later, temps around 50. Saturday, again, partly sunny in the afternoon, temps 54. Sunday, we're back into the rain, temperatures around 54. Monday, more rain, sorry to say it, temperatures still staying low 50s. Tuesday, chance of showers again, big surprise there. High in the 55 range, though, so we have that to look forward to.
Sounds lovely.
Right?
Actually, it sounds like a great week to have both a cat, a blanket, and a good book.
I will second that. I'll join you.
When we come back, a love story at the Boston Marathon.
Everybody has a dream. Mine was to see the ocean. And with a little help, I made it.
Cinderella found the pet that fits her perfectly. Tiana gave her pet the royal treatment. Belle found beauty where no one else did. And you can too. Share your heart. Share your love. Bring home your forever friend. Make a shelter pet part of your world. Happily Ever After begins at theshelterpetproject.org.
A runner's high wasn't the only source of joy for some runners in this year's Boston Marathon. Katie Brace has more.
3 hours and 41 minutes, Dan Coe ran with a mission.
Pretty nervous.
Instead of running through the finish, he stopped and bent down on one knee to Amy Sennett, his girlfriend of 5.5 years.
It's a dream come true. I love this race and I love this town.
She said yes, and the red roses were handed down from the grandstand. Coe, who serves as the Boston Mayor's chief of staff, had a foolproof way of making sure the ring was ready nearby.
I had one job, hand it off, and that's all I had to do.
As one engagement ring found an owner, staff in the medical tent were looking for a man who lost his wedding ring.
As they were running, they saw a ring that was on the course, and they figured that someone must have lost it during the course.
John Anderson ended up with the ring after it was passed from a runner to a nurse. Anderson makes the announcements in the medical tent and asked all the runners to check if they lost a wedding ring. The terrible turned to terrific. Within hours, the ring was reunited with its owner. As you can tell by this photo, Anderson was able to announce a success.
We got a nice big rousing applause, and everybody was really excited and happy.
And if they can run the marathon through wind, rain, and cold, they can survive anything.
I'm just so happy.
Well, guys, this is the last NESCom Connection of the semester and my last show. As I'm graduating in May, I just want to say thank you to Jeffrey Hope for taking this program under control and really righting the ship. You did everything. Michael Campbell, you've helped me through everything, and Alex Nivus, you're just awesome, and you've helped me through every sports game we've ever done. So thank you guys, and thank you to anybody else who's ever helped me.
You both will be very much missed.
Yeah.
That wraps up this edition of NESCom Connection. For no more news and sports, check out our journalism channel on YouTube. Have a good night, everyone.